Welcome to the Intellivision Show, episode 14. I'm your host, the Intellivision Gamer. Now, before we get started, if Intellivision content interests you, please give the show a like, sub to the channel. It really does help us out. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook under the Intellivision Gamer. I am posting every week. Today, we're going to have quite a show. We're going to have a chat about Intellivoice usage in homebrew games. We have programmer Carlos Madruga. We have Electronite publisher William Moeller. We have YouTuber of the year for 2023 and voice actor Mike of Mike's Gaming Gala here. And we are going to talk everything Intellivoice, how the process happens, the technical side. We will be fielding questions from chat as well. We've got a pretty good list of questions. And, if you guys think of something else, throw it in there. We're of course, we're going to have the news. We have Homebrew highlight. I picked Operation Cloudfire because it is programmed by one of our guests, and it's also one of my favorite games. So I definitely going to play a little bit of that one before we get going here. We also have some really cool surprises today's show. A lot of you guys are going to find some information you don't really know yet. Some of you may, but most of us are not going to know these. So I'm really looking forward to this episode. Chat, there's a lot of you in chat already. Promoted this one pretty well. Let's get the show on the road. So first up, I wanted to talk about the news. So as a lot of you guys know, I do the horse racing live. I've got David Harley is working on Super Pro horse racing, and I hadn't heard anything in a while. And then all of a sudden I saw like 7 emails, boom, boom, boom. And I'll try this. And I was gone racing on Saturday. And I'm like, I'm out of town racing. I'll be back. I'll try it. So what he's done so far, let me go ahead and read the list here. I did make a few mistakes live, and I'm like, sorry, you can't redo it. He has made it where if I make a mistake in the betting, that you can just re-enter it. He put the buttons where I don't have to hold it. My thumb gets so sore. So now I push a button, it stays on the betting screen. I push a button, it goes away. The race starts quicker after the music out the gate. He has the furlongs counting down, so you can always know how much time is left in the race. That's a pretty cool one. Clear text on the betting screen. There's multiple options. So if we have a half hour, we can play a 5-race game. We can play the standard 10-race game, or we can go for the longer one and do 15 races. He also has a 1 race in there, but I doubt we'll ever do that one. He's got a few other minor changes that help the game flow, and I'll be showing you a little bit of that tonight. And then coming soon, we're going to test it out, and we're going to do a horse racing live. It's been a while. It's due. We've got the new game. Why not? So the bowling league, we finished that up last Thursday, and it was a fun day. It was a lot of fun. We did like random pickups, some weird stuff where he spun wheels, and no one knew what we were going to do. And so that was the finale for the bowling league. Now on DJC, not this week, but a week from this Thursday, we're going to start the Chip Shot Intellivision Game League, and we're not really sure how many people or how it's going to work yet, but more details coming soon. For some of you guys that have a way, we are looking for a few more people. We know there was a few people that said they wanted to play, and we can't remember who it was. So if it was you, come back, let one of us know, and we will get you in there. All right, so we've got a few things. Let me see. I got it right here. So we've got some ROMs available. I posted it on my Facebook, and some of you guys, I'm sure, have already seen it. Papa Pete's done some great videos on it. Super Pro Beauty and the Beast. The ROM is available on Intellivision.us for $5. That is a Super Pro version. David Harley did a lot of tweaks and improvements. And the big one for me is Voice Anthology. I bought these 2 days ago, I believe it was. The ROMs are $5 each, but if you want all 3 of them, you can get them for $10 in a package. And again, that is Intellivision.us. And he has a lot of ROMs there for free and a lot of ROMs that are $5. Some of the packages are $10, but it's a really good deal. So check it out, support them, buy those ROMs. All right, so we have an update from Rev. A lot of you guys have been waiting on your, let's call it, Super Mystery Adventure game. I have been told that this was how we worded it. Very, very, very soon, those will ship out. Those are going to come before the club, and it's going to be very soon. So if you guys have purchased that game, it will be on the way shortly. If I get a heads up, I will let you guys know in a post. That way everyone knows. I know there's a lot of people reached out to me, want to know if I could find something out. And there it is. And right after that, we're going to get the club. The club is close. So as soon as he gets those games of the people that already ordered those, he is going to be sending out the club. Again, I hope to tell you up to the minute as soon as I find out. After that, it's going to be a summer of Intelligentvision. He didn't really go into specifics. I know some are going to be re-releases, and there may be some new stuff in there, so stay tuned. And then the next thing he has after that, he's going to be at PRGE with a strong presence. He promised not as many games as last year, so that'll be nice on our wallet. Oh, I got one picture here. Let me show you. He sent me, what'd I do with it? They're going to be at Korg's, and the Intellivision Aries podcast is going to be there in the booth, and they're going to have little catalogs. And I have the picture to show it. Apparently, it did not make it over here. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. I don't want to waste too long. I'll show it to you guys on my phone here. That way, I know that doesn't look the best, but at least you guys can see it, because I do have it sitting here. Where is it? See how well this works. So this is KorgsCon edition. It's June 1st, 2024. There's going to be catalogs there. I've requested that he send me one because I can't make it, so I definitely need one. If he doesn't and says I can't have one, someone that goes to Korgs, please get one for me. So we have an Electronite update as well. I have no details, but if you guys didn't see on the Facebook, and let me share that here, there's no details. It's just a teaser, but here we go. I'm going to show you that. I've got that one ready to go. So if you missed it, here we go. The art for a new Electronite game coming soon. Look at that. Very cool, very interesting. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that earlier, but if you didn't, there you go. I'm really looking forward to another Electronite game. I have been told there's one for the year, and I'm assuming this is it. Looking forward to more details, and I will bring them to you as soon as I get some. All right, where are we at here? So I have an update from the Intellivision Collector as well. Let me stop this. So Intellivision Collector is going to be partnering with Blah Blah Woof Woof to release their final 2 upcoming games, and they will be complete in-box releases, and it's going to be Buck Rogers and Space Bandits. And I do have the boxes to show you guys really quick. Show you one at a time here. I'm so horrible at sharing the screen, and there we go. So there is Buck Rogers. And here is Space Bandits. So I am told they will be coming in June, give or take a few weeks. And I'm really looking forward to having those games in my collection and trying them out. I'll definitely be getting them right whenever they're shipped, and I'll play them for you guys. Some of you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with the games, but if you haven't seen the box art, there it is. All right, so IntelliGamepad. So some of you guys, I've shown this to. I have been testing this since PRGE. This is not a Sega Genesis controller, for those of you that do not know. This is a 16-direction. It plugs in, like the Intellivision 2, the Sears models. I also have been using it on my Ultimate Flashback. I have adapters from Caleb of 8-Bit Widgets, and it converts it and lets me, I can play this on anything. So they are getting close to the final version. And, I have a little bit of information. There's a link here. It is in the description. So there's a link to Atari Age where you can check everything out about this. He has all the details, and it's getting close. He actually requested that I give this back, and then he's going to give me a final version, and I'm going to be one of the testers. But I will be doing a show on this with all the details in one of the segments for the show coming up shortly. Now, there is another version. Have you guys seen those blue Play 25s? I guess I haven't read it yet. I meant to read that before the show, and I just realized that I missed out on that. So I have the link in the description. He is doing something, converting those things into something fun. And if you want to go check the description, you can check that out. I'll also be speaking to that whenever I have the segment on this controller. But I've been using this controller for months. I can assure you it is amazing. All 16 directions work. It's so easy to play so many games. And obviously you don't have a keypad, but what I do is I have the other controller plugged in, and for most games you can use the keypad buttons you need there and then use the controller for the gameplay. All right, so now we have an Inti Basic Tiny Contest 2024. And I knew I saw some game posts, and I'm like, when I went to look at the main thread, I didn't click the link, and I'm like, were they removed for some reason? But there is another one. Let me show you guys, because you can download these these tiny games and play them, and some of them are quite good. Present here. All right, so on Atari Age, if you search Inti Basic Tiny Contest 2024, there it is. There's all the comments here. If you click, where'd it go? Is it this one? So this page, they don't want people posting. It's just for the people submitting. Right here. So when you click that, click here, you can see all the entries. Here's the first one. It's from Deckel. The guy does amazing things. If you don't know who Deckel is, you will. So here is chippy.zip. You can download that one. Where's another one here? There's Carlos saying it's impressive what Deckel did. Here is Intellivision Brazil, and they have maxit.rom. You can download these there. Here is 511 Under, the one that brought you the RTO Flash, and Amigo Cornhole. There's his entry, cart.rom. Here is, I'm not familiar with who this is, Yan Eros. I hope I said that right. Canyon Escape. That looks kind of cool. I saw that earlier today. CanyonEscape.rom. Here is Brian's Man Cave. He has Miss Paku Paku. It is the line game, and he made Miss Pac-Man. I love those line games. Paku.rom. Here's an update for Canyon Escape with some fixes. Again, with Brian's Man Cave, same thing. And here's Intellivision Brazil, same thing. So go check these out. You can download them, play any of them, anywhere you can play your ROMs. And I'm going to try to have all these contestants on a show, upcoming show, once the thing is over. We'll play the games, talk about, what they did, talk about what the plans are for the games they made. I think it'd be interesting. People would like to hear about it. Definitely, I know I would. All right, so the next thing, we've got the Intellivision Facebook group. So last week, and I wanted to play this one. I did not make it. It was Demon Attack. I love Demon Attack. I'm quite good at it. There's no way I would have been anywhere near the top score on this one. A lot of the scores, they're fairly close. Then you've got Rick Weidman, who just blew everyone out of the water. Like 63,303 points on Demon Attack. 11 players played this week, including a newcomer, Eric Lamb, who's new to Intellivision. We have mutual friends, and he found my channel that way, and he inquired, and we found, told him, get a thing. I'll send you some games. I haven't done that yet, but he's got a lot of good games, and he's playing them, and he's entering that challenge. And I'm like, I thought that was pretty cool. He's enjoying Intellivision. And I said, definitely, I do all the time. I don't get to play as much as I'd like, but, I really wanted to play this one, and I failed. I saw the scores. I'm like, ugh. So this week is Dig Dug. That's another game I've done fairly well at. I am going to attempt to play again. You have until Sunday, April 28th. I went on right before I went live. The high score is Don Juan Jam with 50,870 points, and you have 6 days. So make sure you play these challenges if you have some time. It doesn't take long. You just take a picture. All the rules and the screenshots and instructions are there on the post. And this is Intellivision Invasion Facebook group. I'm pretty sure everyone is on there. If you're not, it's about 5,000 members strong. I highly suggest joining it. So now I've just got a couple things for mail call, and one of them is actually from last week, but it got left on the counter. So here are some new games for my Aquarius. Dungeon Plunder, I think it is. Tiny little box. It's more like a sleeve over the cart. I'll try to get my Aquarius hooked up and show you guys what that game's about. I will put a link in the description if you're interested in that game. This one I just got today. It's opcode. It is, and I just showed my address. It is the new club. I haven't opened it. I have no clue. This is my first time in the opcode club. I joined this right after PRGE. I don't know if this is the magazine already yet or just like the letter. Nice typed up letter. Ah, yes, the magazine. Here we go. So I got a sample of this. And there's a bunch of stuff falling out. I got a sample of this at PRGE. It's quite nice, thick colored paper. It's nice. You know, there's only a handful of pages, but lots of cool information on the one I looked at PRGE. So I joined. I have a Phoenix. I don't have an original ColecoVision yet, but the Phoenix plays everything, and that's the way I get my Coleco fix currently. All right, so one more, and it's a big one. I don't even know if I need to pull this out. So I already have one of these, but I came across another good deal. And now my other one is really mint, and I don't want to use it, taking it in and out. This one is still pretty good, but this is the one I plan on actually using. Let's open this first. So another keyboard music synthesizer. You know, it's not, you can see it's not mint. There's some markings on the box, but it'll be my play unit that I can actually keep out and play. So let's go ahead and welcome chat. Oh, wow, there's a lot of you here today. So we had PJ here first. Welcome, PJ. Pierre, welcome, Pierre. Chris Walker. INTV Prime. I was emailing them earlier today. They're going to add, I need to get a little graphic, and they're going to put me on the website. Very excited about that. More exposure, the better. Kurt Bradshaw, welcome, Kurt. IR Geek, welcome back, sir. EE Buckeye. Salvatore, always good to see you, sir. Looking forward to seeing you at PRGE again this year. Roger Matthews, how you doing, sir? For the Truth, I don't believe I've seen you here before. Thanks for showing up. What is going on, Chris? Hey, Mike's here. Welcome, Mike. Good to see you, buddy. All right. Mike's been answering questions. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Normally, I say hello to chat before I do the news. Tim of Sibling Rivalry. Welcome, sir. DJC Game Studios. A Twiggy spinoff game. Big Block, welcome, welcome. Chris says, I was seriously considering making a similar Chip 8 emulator someday. Deco beat me to it and actually wrote it. So this is Lave 26, guys, for those of you that don't know. Right now he must be on his personal. Never got past the daydream phase. Michael, welcome. Does anyone have the link on the controller? It is in the description. You can't get it yet if you're talking about the controller I talked about earlier. It's just an Atari Age post with all the information. It's FRD for Prez, if I've got that right. But it is in there. You'll find it in there. Click it. Go check it out. Read it. It is coming fairly soon. I'm looking forward to buying the final product. But again, I'm going to have one of the final test units, and I'll be showing it off and talking about it and testing it on a lot of different games. Yep, another keyboard. I got to have two. I got to have one to use and one to sit there. and look pretty on the shelf. I'm going to stick it up there on top. All right. We got through everything. So now a quick homebrew highlight, and then we'll get to the main part of the show and the part I'm excited about. Usually whenever I have shows, I already know a lot about what I'm talking, the guests we're having on, what I'm talking about. This week is something that I'm actually going to learn a lot, and I'm looking forward to it. I spent a lot of time. I had a little bit of help as well, and I spent a lot of time on my questions and fine-tuning them. We're going to learn a lot today. Most of us are anyway. So today I picked a game, as I said earlier, that is programmed by Carlos, and he's one of our guests. It is Operation Cloudfire. This is one of my favorite games. When I got it from PRGE, came home, I played it and I played it and I played it. I wasn't streaming it at the time, but now I will be able to. It is in a gatefold box from the Intellivision collector. Here is the cart. Here is the overlay. Saving will definitely help you in this one. Here is the nice color manual that you've come to expect. And I'm going to show you the game really quick. This is one of the few games for Intellivision, especially when you talk about homebrew, that I just played it and played it and played it until I beat it. I made time. All right, let me switch over here. Again, we're just going to give this a couple minutes, show you guys the game, and then we're going to get into our interview discussion. Oops, wrong one. Oh, technical difficulties. All right, let's see if that fixed it. It did. Sweet. All right. So here is the title screen, Operation Cloudfire. Turn it up a little bit. Load my save game. We're going to do no because I want to play from the beginning just a few minutes. Not very loud. I'm going to skip it. This game is just so good. So these have information. They give you clues. You jump. You can't fall a great distance. Oop. Now, I already know where to go. A lot of times you're going to go down, go over. I'm just going to show you guys the first part here. Ahead of you is a long fall. Be careful for now. So you can't clear that. You will be able to later, but not yet. And I also know that I can't go that way yet, so I'm going to go back. And yeah, I'm using the Intellivision 2 controller. It feels so weird. Normally, I'm not doing that, but that's what I have hooked up here. All right, so this is a door, and that key I got is what opened it up. And if you haven't heard of this game, it is available on Intellivision Collector. You can buy this game CIB. You can buy the ROM package. And I have links in the description that will take you right to each one. You will not regret buying this game, I guarantee you. That yellow box down there may contain something of interest. Like, don't die. Upgrade found, double jumping. So that big gap, now I have double jumping. Ooh, barely made that. I'm going to go just a little bit farther here, and we're going to call it good. So now with the double jump, I could clear that. Now, I can't get down there yet because that's too far to fall. Eventually you can, but not yet. So it kind of warns you if you tried this before you went that way, you may or may not be ready to climb to the top of these steps. So double jump you can. So you go around, there's different all kinds of different screens, different bad guys. You collect cards, different things. I don't know if I should talk. There's multiple endings. I mean, on an Intellivision game, that's just I don't think I've seen that before. I'm sure there might be some, but this game just had me. I was playing it, and figuring it out, and I didn't want to stop. So we're gonna go ahead and call it there. I definitely recommend, if you don't have this, go pick up the ROM if that's how you play it. Go pick up the complete in box if that's how you want it. Again, the link is in the description, and it's on Intellivision Collector. So go check it out. You will not regret that decision. Let me get back over here. I got the right camera. I have the modded console. I'm playing on original hardware here, and it is Ivory Tower Collections. Jesse, he modded I have 4 of them modded. This one's Intellivision 2, and I don't know if you are familiar. It takes a long time to hold down the power button whenever you're turning it off. Mine has been modded where I literally stick it in there, maybe a half second, and I can let go, and it turns off. I love that. Let's catch up here. I was a little rusty, Carlos. Been a long time since I played it. I tested it before, but I love that game. I'm going to play through it again on YouTube here fairly shortly. Let me catch up here. Brian's Man Cave, welcome, sir. Just about to get to the good part here. Gala. Come on, Casey. 24-hour cloud. It does not take me that long to beat it. It's kind of one of those games, though. I mean, for the most part, once you get through it, you kind of know what to do, and it makes it a lot easier the second time. But that first time, there were some parts that I'm like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, Chris says, great game. Love beating it. Have you beat all of the endings? Have you seen them all? Because there's a lot more than one. Luke, what's up, sir? 40 or 50 CIB copies left before it's sold out. Yeah, definitely go pick it up. The man himself, plenty of copies. Go grab yourself one. Yeah, that would be the right person, and that's what we're here for today is Intellivoice. So without further ado, let's welcome our guests. They've been patiently waiting backstage for a while now. So I'm going to put them up in the order. They're down there. First, let's welcome publisher of Electronite, William Moeller. Hello, William.
Hello.
And then we have Mike of Mike's Gaming Gala, YouTuber of the Year 2023, and does a lot of the voice acting in some of these Intellivoice games. Welcome, Mike.
Hello.
And last but certainly not least, we have programmer Carlos Madruga. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Great.
I just want to say, as a Canadian, yeah, it is a testament to how much we like you and how much I like these other guys here that I'm here while the Leafs are tied 2-2 against the Bruins in a game they need to win. And as a Leafs fan, you should know we only get one round of playoff hockey, so missing some of that.
Well, I appreciate you making time as all of you guys. I was really excited whenever this episode came together. I know it's something that I would love to learn about, and I know there's a lot of others that will as well. Welcome, GameZar. You're just here for the sweet part. All right, so first, I would like to start off with something. A lot of us don't even know the process of how games come to be. Roger says, we all know it's intermission, Mike. So just briefly, if Carlos and William could talk to us about the process of how games come to be between publishers and programmers. Do publishers ask for certain games to be made, or do the programmers make the games and then pitch them to the publishers, or do both scenarios exist?
Both.
Yeah, both. Agree.
Yeah.
So I think there's a third party here, which is the community. So both publishers and programmers all pay attention to what the community is also looking for. So that may shape a little bit the requests that are made by publishers, and may shape what programmers may offer to publishers.
Yeah, like some games, like for example, Star Mercenary was a game that I basically said that I wanted what's that game? Bosconian. And I wanted to have Bosconian, and I wanted to have some bases, and I wanted to have mix it with Star Raiders, do something like that, and basically Time Magazine came up with Star Mercenary for me. So we sort of talked about what the game was, what it would be called, and then he went and programmed it. And that some of these games are basically requests from me. And other games have basically come to me, like the one I'm going to release this year.
Yep.
So another thing I'd like to add is that sometimes the conversations start with a certain game in mind, but that may evolve. So features may be added. There could be changes along the way until we reach the final product. Sorry. So I think every game is kind of unique in that sense, in terms of how it starts and how it evolves. Sometimes publishers are very prescriptive of what they're looking for. For instance, Norseman 2, Patrice from Cote actually approached me with a design document, like pages describing,
oh, wow,
I want you to do this and that and that and that. But he was nice enough to say, as you go through this, let me know if everything is feasible, if you have any ideas. So that design kind of evolved, and I really like where we landed on that game. Very good case of co-creation, I'd say. I really appreciated Patrice's starting point, and I appreciated that he was open to ideas and all that. So, but most of the time, publishers approach with sometimes they got a license that they want to get a port done, or they may have a general idea of a game that the community is looking for, so it may need to go through a few iterations.
Okay.
I had a hard time getting Hover Bover made, as some people know.
Yes.
So this question goes to Mike. How did you come to doing voices in games? Was it a connection? And how does one get into doing that if someone's interested in lending their voice to games? And are there any good qualifications or traits or certain types of voices that work better than others? And what's the process of, converting?
Okay, so I have to remember all four of those questions as we. I could start with how I got into it. Obviously, I've been friends with William for about 10 years. And I first worked as a game tester on Boulder Dash, which is fantastic game. And then it was Steamroller was the first game that I was voice on. So I'm the announcer in Steamroller. And back then, Joe Zabisiak was doing all the encoding. So I just recorded 2 or 3 different styles of voices, and William picked the one that he liked. And I sent that audio file over to Joe. And from my perspective, it was all done. But then when we came to Robot Army, which I'm the robot voices in those, that was a much bigger deal. And I'm sure we'll get into that. But I figured with Joe's instructions, I figured out how to convert an audio file to be able to be encoded. And then I sent that to William, and he did his piece. And then that was sent on to, for Robot Army, that was Oscar Gutierrez. Oscar TG. Apparently I'm pronouncing Gutierrez wrong. Somebody keeps telling me that. Somebody keeps telling me, but they didn't tell me how to pronounce it. So, that was a much bigger process, and I think the voices turned out really well. But it's become a 3-person process. So actually, what I've done, because Brian's Man Cave was asking me, how do I convert these, and we were kind of going back and forth. So I made an unlisted video on how to use Audacity, which is a free download, to convert your audio file to something that can then be encoded. And I just made that public today, and I know you've got the link and have posted in the description. So if anybody's looking to make voices, you can't encode them, but you can convert them so that they're ready to be encoded. And then these two guys know the rest of the process.
So the next, sorry,
what was the next question?
Where do you go here? How got into there? Are there any? Did you talk about like the qualifications or traits of certain types of voices or?
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're really compressing the audio file. So you really have to enunciate. You have to be very clear. Don't slur your words. Bob Dylan would be a terrible voiceover artist for the Intellivision. If you have a clear voice, the one thing that kind of you have to, like, you want to be expressive in your voices, but you also have to kind of dial it back so that it's clear. So for instance, if I was to say, we're talking, I say the Intellivision gamer, that kind of slurs together. Whereas if I'm doing it for Intellivision voice, you'd have to kind of be like the Intellivision gamer, like space it out a little bit. And what you can massage audio files after the fact. I'm not a big audio guy. So what William and I did was I would record some voices. We'd encode them, see how they sound. If some of them needed redoing, I'd just re-record them and try to be clearer. In one or two situations, we had to change a word because just the encoder wasn't getting it. But yeah, just be clear, enunciate, and don't slur your words.
Perfect. And it seems easy enough. If one doesn't work out, just make another one, and hopefully that one works better.
It can be a pain in the butt, but
yeah, but it's not as detailed as someone might think to re-record, or like maybe you would record a few at a time in case one didn't work, I think is what you guys told me. So this one is for William and then Carlos. So William, whenever you publish a game, do you always prefer to have IntelliVoice support in there, or is it just certain games, and why or why not?
Well, my first voice game was Hover Bubber. And I thought, like more voice means more better. And turned out that when I was testing the game, the wife got really mad and she told me to turn that off. She said, turn that down. So I realized suddenly that, maybe more voice is not more better. So we actually had so many voices in it that we actually cut what you have in the game is 25% of what was in the game originally.
Oh, wow.
Can you? Yeah. So I realized that, it's not always more voices better. It's you have to have voices when appropriate and not too annoying. Anything of too much of anything is not good.
Yeah, definitely. Carlos, when you program a game, do you prefer to always have IntelliVoice support, or is there certain things why or why not?
Yeah, I think it's a decision that is unique to each game. I don't have a general rule that I'm always trying to force fit voices into my games. I think it's important for voices to be a value-added element to the game. Otherwise, they feel a little gimmicky. So
yeah,
it's really a game-by-game decision.
Okay,
yeah,
so
exactly. Like we're not doing the in Mattel thing where the voices are integral to the game. Like all of our voice games, I believe, can be played without the voice. There's no real requirement for whatever we have in the voice, but you want it to be appropriate. So you don't want to overuse it. And then, of course, there's space. I mean, if you make a really big game, maybe you want to fill in some voices, but it just doesn't fit. Like Defender of the Crown, we thought, yeah, that would be great if we had the part where they do this introduction. If we had the voice, say that, and we just said no, we're not doing that. Too much trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is for all three of you. And just a quick response. We'll start with Carlos, William, and then Mike, just because I have it that way on the paper. So, Carlos, what are your opinions on what voices add to the game, the best uses, and how many should typically be in a game? What decides? What are the determining factors?
Yeah, I'd say, in my view, voices add value to a game in at least two ways. The first way is adding flavor, by adding flavor. So they can help reinforce the atmosphere of a game. Like if we look at Robot Army, right? You're walking around a maze and you can hear the robot saying something around you. So I think it's a great example of how they help reinforce that sense of, oh, you're being chased, right? You're kind of in a maze. But you can also have voices play a more practical aspect, almost like they're part of the user interface. So if we look at a game like B-17 Bomber, like when the voices ask you to, hey, look in this direction or that direction, it's almost like that's part of the interface with the player, right? So, and it's pretty much value added. It's much better than just having something on the screen, right? So you can press the button next. So I think if you can have both elements, flavor and the practical aspect, I think that's the sweet spot. And the number of voices to use really depends on the game. I mean, if you're porting for instance, an arcade game with a set of voices, of course you want to reproduce the same voices. Otherwise, it's really a judgment call depending on the design.
William,
I believe Fantasy uses the actual arcade voices that are digitized. They use the same ones. So those were just encoded.
So same question to you, brief answer as well. What are your opinions on what voices add to the game? And, how many do you like to see in a game? These are all just personal opinions, when you're playing a game, what do you like?
I like to have voices in games, but it's not always practical.
Yeah.
It takes effort, takes added space in the cartridge. My view is, if it's worth the effort, we put them in. If it's not, we don't.
And contrary to popular belief, there's not endless storage these days, right? There are limitations still, correct?
We've already hit the limit.
Yeah. Okay.
The game, The Immortal.
So. You guys are laughing.
I just sent someone my catalog, because they wanted to know what games I had, because my website is out of order. And they said, "Oh, I want, Immortal's coming. I want the Immortal." And I said, "Well, it's actually delayed. What's the word? I can't think of it.
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely. That's the word. Indefinitely. That's the word. Because we need to build a new cartridge that's at least half a megabyte, if not a megabyte long.
Okay.
Yeah, as much as JLP gives you space, I mean, we keep bumping against that limit all the time. I mean, for the last couple of years, at least, several games.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome, really.
Yeah. Well, basic is bloated. If we were doing this in machine code, we wouldn't be bumping into it quite yet. But basic will, like assembler takes so long to develop. So if we're going to continue doing basic games, we're going to have to come up with a bigger cartridge. And of course, Joe from Left Turn Only was going to design it, so we might have to look elsewhere.
Mike, same question.
Yeah, like these guys said, it's a big atmosphere thing. I don't like too much, and I don't think you're probably ever going to find a homebrew that requires that you have the Intellivoice. It limits your market in an already small market. So I think just having that atmosphere, it's really good in cutscenes, it's good in title screens, and if there's a good use for it, like Robot Army with the robots, like that game would not be the same without the voices. That's such a big part of Berserk. So, it gives you that sense of being in that environment.
This one, I believe, would be aimed towards you. I'm assuming that they are talking about the process of recording them, editing them, and then sending them off, not the entire thing, but your part.
Yeah, so when I record them, it was much longer at the start, but now what I'll do is I'll usually do about 3 or 4 times doing each line, and then I'll just pick what I think is the best one. I've kind of got an ear now for what's going to work and what might not. Then I trim it up. I export them as WAV files, and then I do the conversion in Audacity that I posted in my video today. But that process, it depends on how many lines they are. With Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, there's 20 lines, so that took me about an hour to do. It's not that bad, really.
I know I've heard of some of them, and they sound really good. And I don't think I knew it was you when I first saw it, but when I heard it, I'm like, that's Mike. I do hear your voice now and then, so...
I do try to mask it a little, and the compression helps hide it that it's me.
So Mike,
if you listen, it's me.
Mike needs to go to the next BRG dressed in, full Ghostbusters attire.
I have a full thing with a lit proton pack and everything, but I'm not going to Portland this year.
You can see all the phrases from the game.
That's right.
Yeah, people are gonna pay you to hear you say those phrases.
I'll have a booth. He slimed me.
Come on, do one for us.
Yeah.
I just did. He slimed me. I feel so
Actually,
funky.
when we did
there we go, that one.
Robot Army.
Yeah.
So I believe
when we did Robot Army, we did it so.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, William.
Me?
Yes. Yeah.
So
You were just about to say
Army, we did them so well that people thought that we were using the internal
phenoms.
Sorry, I'm having issues.
Yeah, he's cutting out, but he's saying that people thought that we were using the built-in phonemes or whatever. Yeah, the built-in Intellivision voice, but no, I just sound that robotic sometimes.
So I think this one will be directed towards Carlos, but I'm not 100%. What tools are used to create the voices, and who built the tools that are being used?
Yeah, well, I'm on the receiving end of a lot of this stuff, so maybe William is the guy to answer this.
Okay.
One. I'm more of a power user. William?
Did you hear that question, William?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you hear the question?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Joe from Left Turn Only. He's the one who reverse engineered the Intellivoice, and he actually was the one to recreate the ability to create voices. As you know, they were done at Mattel with mainframes and all sorts of stuff like that. So he did an early version of it, but it was there was an early version of his encoder out there, and then he eventually wrote a better one, and he didn't really want to give it out because he didn't want people creating poor voices and putting them in games. Like, he didn't want poor quality voices in the games. So also it was a bit of a learning curve to actually create the voices. So
to figure it all out.
That was the reason. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So that was the reason why he didn't want to give out the encoder. And when he got very, very busy at work, that was why Robot Army was delayed so long, because I didn't really want to release it without voices. So we went to Portland, and he told me, he said that, if I give this to you, don't, do anything that's, don't release voices that sound horrible. So I made that promise, and we stumbled across our method because we didn't have the skills to massage and modify the voices that Joe was doing. He was spending massive amounts of time in order to edit the voices, to tweak them, to lengthen them, to make them louder or lower voice. So he was spending a massive amount of time, and we just said, the heck with that. We don't have the time, so let's re-record. So that was how we came up with doing very good voices. And we do it a lot faster than Joe was doing because of the keep it simple, stupid method. and that was basically it. So that's what we've come up with, and I'm basically the only one who has the encoder at the moment, and I'm not allowed to give it out to anyone, so I'm not. So
all right. Well, that kind of answers the next question that came up from one of my viewers. Are the tools available to any developers that need to make voices? So right now it is Electronite thing, and Joe Zabisiak has it, and no other developers can do it, right?
Correct.
The audio file, the stage that I do is open to everybody, but obviously you can't put it into a game until it's encoded.
Yeah. Now the original software or whatever that he had, that is out there, just not this new version, or none of it's out there?
That's not none of it's supposed to be developed or distributed.
Okay. So I had a question from Roger Matthews. It'll be really cool to see newly designed carts to accommodate space for future games. I hope we see it someday. If it ever does happen, will the graphics improve as well?
Well, more graphics.
It's still playing on an Intellivision, but you can just do more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can have more voices, digitized voices, right? You can have more cinematics. You can have more cut screens. You can have games with extensive introductions telling expansive stories. So it's
that'll be cool.
Some things like number of colors, resolution, number of sprites are still going to stay the same, of course. But think about more polished, longer games, and they could be. I mean, we could do them today if we had the storage. Many games have been cutting short because of space limitations.
So, in a ROM, obviously, this big production game is not going to be, just for ROMs. But in a ROM, theoretically, you can have all that big stuff now, right? It's just a limitation to put it on the cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So the next one is Carlos, and we may have kind of went over this already. How does it differ programming a game that's going to utilize IntelliVoice support versus one that there's no plan to use it? Are there any differences, or is it just, you just make voices and insert them?
Yeah, it really depends on how you use the IntelliVoice, because you can use the IntelliVoice in two ways. One way is to use the standard phrases that you have built in, and that is very easy to do in Intv Basic. So thanks to NanoChaz, you have a set of commands that are very easy to understand and apply. So in fact, my first ever game I did in Intv Basic, I was able to already include voices because of that. I mean, that's how easy it is.
Oh, nice.
Now, if you're gonna do voice clips, like what we're talking about in here, you need to make sure to incorporate specific routines to your Intv Basic code. So assuming you're doing Intv Basic, so you need to have access to those routines. You also need to use a modified epilogue file. So epilogue is a file that is used for compiling your game. So you cannot use the standard one, and you need to use a modified one. And you also need to use bank switching. So bank switching means basically like JLP, right? Because you're going to be allocating the voice clips to different pages in memory. And that's what bank switching does. It kind of takes a memory segment and divides that into up to 16 pages, right? Each segment. We already talked about how the voice clips need to be digitized, and so they come to you available as a file, right? And that file has all the information needed to reproduce the voice. So overall, it's a little more labor intensive, but I'd say the results are worth it. Absolutely.
All right. So the next question, do any of the games that you guys make take advantage of the ECS and with its extra capabilities? And how does all that work?
I think Space Patrol has 6-channel sound. So yes, some games can have more channels in their sound.
Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, The Goonies, Melody Blaster 2, Pandora Incident, Infiltrator, Operation Cloudfire that you just played, Space Patrol. What else? Plus the original, we had 6 original ECS titles, right? So.
Oh yeah, see, when I played Operation Cloudfire before, I did have my ECS hooked up, but I forgot about it today whenever I was showing it off. I did not have it hooked up. All right, so where are we at here? Okay, this one came from a friend of mine. Carlos, how hard is it to program for the SP0256 chip compared to programming a regular Intellivision game without Intellivoice enhancement?
Yeah, I mean, thanks to folks who are way smarter than me, you can afford to be a power user of the tool sets that exist. So I'd say because of that, it's not that hard. If I can learn it, anyone can. So like I mentioned before, using standard phrases is really, really straightforward. And there is a tool made available by an Atari Age user called, I think, Marco Mahero, something like that. I'm mangling your name, sorry, Marco. But he made a tool called Intellivoice Dictionary, available at one point over in Atari Age. And that is really, really important, because if you're trying to reproduce a word or like speak like a phrase using the standard sounds from the Intellivoice, you can simply punch that inside this dictionary tool, and it will tell you exactly the line of code that you need to plug into your Basic program. So absolutely recommend it. I've used that a lot. Now with voice clips, I mean, like I mentioned before, it's a little more involved, but doable, right? So like I mentioned, you need to have the routines and the invoiced, the encoded voice clip. So you need basic knowledge to be able to import those routines. I think some understanding of how bank switching works is helpful, but it's doable again.
Okay, now the next question, we kind of already answered it. The question was, why do current Intellivision programmers shy away from designing games with IntelliVoice support? Well, the answer is fairly simple. They don't have the tools needed to do such things, right? Is there any more to that answer, or?
Well, I think because the original standard phrases are not that exciting, right? I mean, they always sound the same. So I think when you use voice clips, like what we are talking about, it really opens up, it really changes the game. So I would expect that programmers would be more and more interested in incorporating voices the way we describe it from now on.
And that's what I want to go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Casey.
I was just going to move on to the next one, but if you have something to add, huh?
No, I just wanted to say that I want to basically introduce my contribution to the Intellivision Basic community by creating a library of voices that are not internal to the IntelliVoice. So, in other words, what I really would like to do is have a number of voice actors do like game over, you know, try your own, you know,
game over,
and then game that's over. It, right? Yeah. So what we'll do is we get like 10 or 20 voice actors doing a set of phrases like game over, fantastic, like in Beauty and the Beast, for example. It says, "Oh, that was close," or phrases like that, and then digitize them and make sure that the quality is there, and then put that into a library for Intellivision Basic that any programmer can draw on and use and put in their games. That's what I ultimately like to do.
Yeah, another idea would be to use AI. I mean, the AI voice actors are pretty realistic nowadays. Because of my day job, I've been looking into that, and I'm really impressed.
Star Mercenary voices are AI, and so is AF.
Yeah, but that's how Skynet. AI. That's how Skynet gets us, guys.
Yes. If my voice works, I would love to do some of those.
I know what they really are thinking. They're thinking we need to find a way to get Mike out of this process.
Come on, Mike.
You've been doing too many voices. People recognize your voice.
Every game.
Brian loves that idea, and we need that with sound effects.
Well, that's an interesting thing. That's an interesting thing. When we did Hover Bover, we thought that the perfect digitized voice would be the dog barking, but it turned out that it sounded like a clown car. You know, I mean, it just did not digitize, which is surprising. But you know,
it's the same with music. Music is very difficult to digitize.
Oh, it's like so. The next question was: is it possible to add a setting screen to the title screen of Intellivoice Enhanced Intellivision game, where you can scroll through multiple languages and pick the one you want to use? Or I just lost it here. 1 second. So it could be produced for multiple countries. Could the chips and board hold that much information? Again, I think it comes back to the limitation of the current boards, correct?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not looking to do a physical release, I think, I mean, if you're running that on LTO Flash or something, yeah, you could do something like that. Yeah.
So with the bigger board, theoretically, you could have a language setting in the game and release one game, and people could just switch to the language they wanted, right? If you had voice actors in multiple languages.
Yeah, if it's a small enough game and it has few enough lines, probably.
Yeah.
All right. So is it possible to program a game for cart release that will play an actual digitized song complete with vocals using the Intellivoice? Such a feat would be awesome for title screens, background music, or even dramatic scenes. We kind of talked about that earlier. Again, it's we need more memory on the carts, right?
And also that would be whenever you start mixing layers, that's why like when you're making your voices for the Intellivoice, you have to be really clear. And so songs, if somebody's singing and the band's going, you know, a guitar or a trumpet or a saxophone might be hitting the same ranges as that vocal range, and the encoder's going to get mixed up. And unless you have somebody like Joe that's going to sit there for 40 hours and tweak every bar, I think it'd be a tall order. Not impossible, but a tall order.
Time consuming.
Well, what you can do, you can do digitized sound, like in Yar's Revenge, for example. They have you played Atari today? But that locks the screen, and same with DK Arcade. You know, the help. You know, that locks the screen. As you notice, there's no motion at all on the screen.
Yeah.
You know, the processor is basically doing all the generation of the voice there.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Year's Revenge jingle does not use Intellivoice, right? Because I know you can still get that sound without Intellivoice. So whatever wizardry was done there, it's pretty impressive. But I imagine it took a lot of tweaking.
I think something happened in the hockey game.
3-2. Sorry. I am paying attention to this, but I had to glance down. It was a breakaway. It was a beautiful goal. Austin Matthews.
So INTV Prime, regarding multiple languages, USA English is very limited. Less characters and uses phonemes. I don't even know that one. Phonemes. Compared to everything else. For example, showing Spanish, Enye means replacing another ROM or is it GRAM or GRAM? I don't even know how to say that one.
GRAM. Graphics RAM.
Yeah, but that's assuming you're using the standard phonemes, right? So I think you really need to go with voice clips.
Yep, he did. He saw it. All right, guys. So this is a general question. I'd like each of you to field. It doesn't matter who starts first. What do you think of the current state of the Intellivision homebrew scene, and how do you think it can be improved upon? I see lots of smiles.
The shovelware.
You know what? Because I've already talked a little bit about this, and I've actually started some research of other homebrew communities because I'm involved in a lot of them. And this will be something that I talk about more in the future. The problem isn't ports. The problem isn't hacks. The problem isn't anything like that. The problem right now is that the amount of people buying these games is not enough to justify publishing them to a lot of publishers. And so there are several ways that publishers try to get around that. One of them, okay, let's try to cheapen the product, so I make more profit on each one, and therefore it justifies only selling 50 copies. Or do we amp the product up and make it something that everybody absolutely must have? That's a higher risk, so you're going to see a lot more people taking the safe route. Everybody knows, like, I don't dislike ports. I don't dislike hacks. I think they absolutely have their place in any homebrew community. I dislike the fact that 80% of the homebrews that came out last year, for instance, were not original. I think a really healthy homebrew community has at least a 50-50 split. Like the Atari 2600 homebrew community has a lot of ports. Like Champ Games is famous for them, and I will buy anything that Champ Games puts out because there's such high quality. There's such high quality. But there is also a lot of new stuff for people, and that I think helps keep interest. Granted, it's a bigger community, and it's the same with the NES community. It started out with a lot of hacks and ports. There's almost none now. It's almost all original games. And that's, I think, a part of why it flourishes.
I think some of it might be... Oh, go ahead, William.
Women say that they want nice guys, but they don't really want nice guys. No,
my wife sure
like
didn't.
The homebrew community. People say, I want original stuff, but they don't want original stuff.
Name recognition goes a long way, I think.
I do. I absolutely do want original stuff.
I'm joking, but the point is that this new game that we're going to be doing is very original, and it's risky.
It is. So if you don't mind me mentioning, so William asked me, like, Carlos obviously programmed it, and he had asked my opinion on it, and he's like, would you be willing to talk to some publishers when I try to shop it around? And William asked me about the game, and I told him I don't know how well it will sell, but this is Game of the Year material. There's nothing else like it on the Intellivision. It is unique. There's a learning curve, but it's going to be a cult classic, and it's going to be one of those games that anyone serious about Intellivision homebrew needs to get. The problem is it doesn't have a lot of shooty, right? And that's what a lot of people are used to. And I think games like this and games like the Pandora incident and games like Operation Cloudfire even, like they kind of evolve what the idea of an Intellivision game is. And I absolutely adore that. So when this game does get released, it's going to get my full 100% backing support because I really liked it. And I know that William's been working with Carlos to add more to it.
Yeah, I like the sound of all that, and I look forward to trying it for sure.
No pressure, right?
we almost always have excellent games from Electronite. Carlos is, to me, programs some of the best games out there. I mean, they're no brainers. It's like, if you do something, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I buy everything, but buying it to collect it is different when I'm excited to buy it and actually play it and use it and show it on YouTube. There's differences there. I do buy everything, but excited to have it is something else.
Well, I want to say something like that. There's a lot of people there. There were a lot of people like you, Casey, who used to buy one game to play and one game to put on their shelf, just like your keyboard there. But unfortunately, they've gone by the wayside as more and more shovelware has come out. They just can't keep up, and unfortunately, in my opinion, they're obsessive compulsive, and they basically drop out because they can't keep up because there's just way too much product. I've had a large number of people who used to buy multiple copies from me, who made things viable, have stopped buying from me totally, and that's a concern as a person who's actually putting my money on the line. Like, it's not, everyone says, oh, yeah, I'll buy it. Yeah, okay, that's great, but I've lost $3,000 or $4,000 from this game. Yeah, why? It's a real risk. massive risk. So
now I know a lot of people do struggle as well. As everyone knows, I'm pretty much sure it's around the world. Costs, especially here, costs are through the roof. Gas, food, insurance here in California is unreal. I have perfect record. I got canceled just because I'm in California and I had to go somewhere else, and not many places take it. So all the costs are going up. I know that's going to affect some people. I also think we have a shrinking collector pool. I mean, I'm pretty much one of the youngest, and I'm right at 50. A lot of the collectors are getting up there in age, and it's not going to be growing unless we bring new blood in.
Well, I think that's the reason I haven't put my prices up, is because people are having a hard time buying food. They're not going to buy an Intellivision game. So I don't want to increase my prices. And I just want to sell more stuff, and I got to do that. If people have to buy, these limited games, they're gonna say, oh well, Electronite, they always sell their games. You can buy Electronite games from 6 years ago, so I'll buy that later. Well, that's literally putting me out of business, honestly. So I'm limiting what I'm doing. I have one game coming out this year.
I look forward to that too. I know it's going to be a barn burner. Carlos, do you have any thoughts on the current condition of the homebrew scene?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I going back to Mike's comments, I really appreciate Mike as an independent thinker, right? So I pay a lot of attention to what Mike says, and I value his opinion. So the fact that Mike looked at a game and said, like it, willing to kind of help you pitch that, it meant so much to me. So just wanted to say that, Mike. Appreciate that.
No problem. Keep making good stuff.
and I hope I can meet the expectations here, right? But it's always a pleasure, right, to see something that people end up playing, and always great to hear what people think about the games. But I'd say, going back to the state of the community, yeah, I agree with what was said. There's a degree of saturation and shrinking collector base, and on top of that, we do have a piracy issue, right? So that doesn't help. It kind of compounds the pressure, right? So it's a kind of a difficult moment I think we go through right now, and I think how do we get out of this? I don't know that there are any easy solutions. I think I take too hard to comment about the balance between original titles and ports, and I've been thinking more and more about how to kind of tip the scale the best I can on my side to reach a balance, right? But yeah, I think there's also something to be said about when a game gets published, gets boxed. We should have a high bar for that, because we should be respectful of people's money. Like we're saying, right? High inflation and all that, and people have this as a hobby, but this costs money, and just the number of releases that we have, that's a significant financial commitment if you want to keep up with your collection, right? So I have huge respect for collectors, and I wish our releases would honor them better. But I think a lot of that falls on publishers, because it's not natural to say, no, I don't want to publish one more game. Right? There's an incentive to just keep going if they see a degree of demand, right? But the question then is, are they going to break even if we keep going like this? It's already getting harder. So at what point do we say less is more, right? I think that's what we need to collectively agree on and just act.
Voices. Less is more. Hover bummer voices.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if some of the lesser titles stayed as ROMs and were sold.
100% make tons and tons of ROM sales. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's also going to bring more people in. They're going to be playing more. They're going to be aware of more games. And then all the good ones, if only good games came out, people, I'm going to go grab that. It's like, I think that would be a way to help games that are not.
To answer a few questions that came up, yes, Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition is a JLP game? Someone asked that. Also,
Yep.
I think there's another question here. Yes, we were talking about the new Electronite game that's coming out. The art was shown.
Yep, we showed the art earlier. I can't remember exactly where that was, but it's the same picture that is on Facebook. I'm really excited to when eventually more information comes out, and definitely some gameplay footage. That one, I mean, we all have high hopes whenever it has the Electronite name. As we all know, there's always good games. Just like when Carlos programs a game, no matter who publishes it, you know it's going to be good. So I got one more thing here. Is there anything that you guys are working on or coming up? For Mike, it would be coming up on your channel. For Carlos, it'd be anything in the works. Same question for William. Anything that you guys can talk about that you are working on currently that you can share?
Well, William, do you want to talk about the game from the?
If you do, it's up your call. Your call.
So let's leave a little bit of mystery still.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm working on that game. That you showed the box art. It's an exciting one. It's unlike anything that we had in the platform so far. I think Mike can attest to that.
Absolutely.
It kind of defies genres in terms of is this? I mean, there are elements of RPG, elements of graphic adventures, elements of board games. So I'm hoping that it will be well received and people will enjoy it. I am absolutely committed to doing the best on this title, right? So, and we are connecting, with some folks who can do incredible graphics to, make it look good. There'll be great music. So technically, I expect the quality to be very high. Now it is unlike other games. So that's where I think my interest will be in understanding what the reaction, right, from the community will be. If it's well received, I guess it's a sign that, hey, we should feel better about, taking more risks, maybe.
Yeah.
More so than before, maybe.
When will it be done, Carlos?
When it will be done?
Yes.
When it's done.
Oh,
when it's done. It's done when it's done.
Okay, he's putting me on the spot. Well, it is playable, so we're just sprucing it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe a couple more months until we send it to final testing.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that. Mike, do you have anything you want to talk about coming up on your channel?
Well, I've got my podcast on Tuesday nights. This week's review is actually an Atari Lynx game called Unseen, which is really cool. It's a text adventure, but with all the bells and whistles. And then probably another Intellivision game the following week. I'm not sure which one yet. There's actually a few of Carlos's games I need to get to. I need to get to Operation Cloudfire and Infiltrator. I've already got the perfect Metal Gear Solid intro ready for Infiltrator, but we'll have to get there.
I have copies of that. I have copies of that available right now.
And it is, spoiler alert, it's an excellent game. It really is.
So, to that, to your question, Casey, about what are you guys working on? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, William.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to let people know that what I'm working on is moving over to Thailand permanently from Canada. And I have a bunch of product here, which I'm selling right now to North America only, Canada and the USA. And I offer free shipping if you buy 2 copies. All you have to do is pay $7 PayPal fees for 2 copies, $10 PayPal fees for 3 copies. And you get that pretty much free shipping for North America only, not Europe, not Britain, not Australia. Sorry.
And what is the email for people to contact you to purchase the games?
They can contact me on Facebook, or they can don't write it down, but it's Willy _ WILLY _ MOELLER @ hotmail.com.
Okay.
So that's how people can get a hold of me at my personal email address. Less so if they email Electronite at Hotmail.
Okay, that was
It's
the one
not
that I'm
monitored.
familiar with. Yeah.
Not monitored all the time, but I do monitor that one. And I have a bunch of Homebrew Inc. games. I also have a bunch of I have Space Patrol 2024, which I'm building more copies of
Great game.
as well. And I'm gonna have some Spiker, Blue Sky Ranger Spikers. They're apparently sold out right now. So I have a few of those.
Nice. For those of us who can't afford an original, it's an excellent substitute.
Yeah, for all those people out there that have 124 and they're never going to find or spend the money, throw that in there. You've got, it'll work. Before we close it out, there's something that all three of you and another have been helping me with, and I would like to show it off real quick. I'm very excited. I watched it about 15 times today.
Leafs win.
Yes,
So,
they did.
They won.
Wow.
They hung on.
Okay, so let's see here. Let me share it here. I haven't shared this type yet, so let's hope it works. So this is an intro that you guys have all helped me with, and I'm very thankful. Let's see if this shows up. Nice little simple intro for my channel and the videos, and that is my voice that has been Intellivoiced.
Play it again. You were thumping a bit over it. Play it again.
I was what?
Like when you move something, your desk thumps or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you increase the volume?
There you go.
Isn't that cool?
So the
Very
MOV
cool,
file, the MOV file has an alpha channel at the end. So if you're sitting in the right spot, that should dissolve to you, and the Intellivision guy becomes you.
Very cool. Yeah, hopefully I'll get the emblem soon. I'm assuming it's okay to say who the other person is. He didn't say not to. Justin Cheer had a big part in that as well, and all three of the guys here you see on the panel. I'm very excited. I've been wanting an intro for so long, and now I'm going to have one, and it's also Intellivision related.
It was my idea too.
Huh?
It was my idea.
Yeah, Intellivoice is in there. I got myself what do you call it? Digitized, Intellivision graphics. It's just, I'm very excited. I've showed it to my family and friends that don't even care about my channel. I'm like, check this out.
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks to NanoChess as well for the tools that he creates, and for being someone who's always open to answering questions, and admire his patience. So
yeah, he does.
It's a fantastic guy.
He does so much for everyone in the community to enable them to do what they do. A lot more high level. It's like, I wish I could even begin to do these things, but YouTube and playing and collecting and supporting everyone, that's the only thing I'm capable of. I wish I could make a game, but I can't.
Yeah, talking about him, you guys probably know that he released a compiler for ColecoVision. I've been watching that very closely. So
you mean a basic compiler?
Yeah, similar.
Cool. Well, I guess we have to figure out how we're going to coordinate doing these voice libraries with voice actors. So I guess if people are interested, who can they contact? Mike?
Yeah, hey, I would imagine, like, if you want to reach out to me, obviously I've got a direct line to Willie. You could reach out to Willie through the Electronite Facebook page as well. But William, you and I should probably put together a list of lines phrases. Phrases that just anybody that wants to record them, and if they turn out well, then
they could end up in the library.
Right. And this is going to be a library for any programmers that want to use them to put in their games, correct?
That's correct.
Yep, free for everybody.
if my voice works and you know certain phrases, I would love to have a few voices in games. I think that would be cool. I think I'm excited to be in my own intro.
We could give the Intellivision gamer is dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we that mean? We kind of are. That's okay.
I have thick skin. I work in a factory.
Fair enough.
So, does anyone have any closing out statements or any final thoughts before we move on?
I just want to say, a big thank you to
DJC wants to be a voice.
I want to say a big thank you to both of these guys. Obviously, I've talked in the last year a lot more with Carlos than I had before, but I've known both of these guys for the better part of a decade at least, and between the two of them, they produce some of the best homebrew out there. Full stop. Like Electronite still is the gold standard for Intellivision homebrew as far as I'm concerned, and Carlos is absolutely one of the gold standard programmers. So thank you guys for what you guys do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
William, Carlos, any final thoughts?
On my side, I just wanted to thank you, Casey, for having us. And,
Thank you.
I think I enjoyed the chat. I'm not used to participating in streams, but I enjoyed this one very much. So thank you very much. And appreciate everyone who connected to watch this. So if there are any comments afterwards, feel free to post and we'll try and answer the best we can. Hopefully people are getting excited about using voices, right, going forward. I think it's a really cool feature. And if you can connect that well with the game design, it can be really powerful, right? So it's great that we are making that available to the community.
Yeah, well, the pleasure was all mine. I love that you guys were willing to come on and talk about such a cool topic. And I really appreciate each and every one of you that gave me your time and everyone in the chat's time, especially you, Mike, because you wanted to be watching a game tonight and you still came on. And
I kind of did. I'll watch this back and I'll see how many times I kind of glanced down, but I think I was pretty good.
I see it because you're like this way, then you're this way, and I'm like, one's the monitor and one's the game. I'm like, I can't tell which one's which.
It's in my cold Canadian blood. I'm sorry.
All right, guys. Well, I enjoyed this. I learned a lot. I hope everyone in chat did as well. And I thank each and every one of you guys for coming on. And I'm going to move on. I'm going to show off. Maybe we'll do a 5-game. I'm going to show off what I've got so far for Super Pro Horse Racing. A lot of changes were made to help me live stream it. And I actually have a final version, but I was not able to put that on there. So I've got one of the earlier versions. But I'm going to show a lot of these guys in here do play my Horse Racing Live episodes. So I'm going to show that off to end the night. So I say good night to you guys. And again, thank you for stopping in. And I would love to have you guys separately or another topic. If you guys are all involved in a game, have you guys on again sometime. It was a lot of fun chatting with you all.
Good night.
Back again to talk the new Electronite release in however many months' time.
Yes, I would love it. Let's do it.
TBD.
Yes.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on there. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. The regular show is over. Next Monday, 5:30 Pacific time, we have episode 15, Lave 26, which in the chat has been Chris D. He's going to come on. We're going to talk about the video plexer. We're going to do some testing. We are going to show you things that work, things that don't. I'm also going to have Caleb of 8-Bit Widgets. He's going to come on. A lot of you guys have already seen it. He has a new product out. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some different versions of that product and another product that's soon to be out. Maybe by the time of the show, we will have a final product to talk about. I hope you guys tune in next week. I'm also going to see if we have time to run a horse racing game in that. I now have some options. Doesn't have to be just a long version. So stick around. We're going to try out horse racing right now. If a few of you guys want to play, we'll do like a 5 race just to see the changes and see what you guys think. So regular show ending. Let's turn on Horse Racing Live. I got 6 of you guys. first 6 that would like to participate, it's quite easy. Just say, I would like to play. First 6 are going to do it. But while I switch out here, I have to switch to the other console, so give me a brief moment. Looking for up to 6 people for this one. Let's test it out together. What better way? Too many cords in here. I need to get some kind of rack where I've got everything hooked up at once, and I don't have to mess around with it. Buckeye, Kurt, IR Geek, Eric Lamb, Rick. Man, very impressive score on Demon Attack. I'm fairly good at that game, but let me tell you, I can't do anything near that, I don't believe. I'm going to try. I wanted to join, but I did not have time. All right, so let's see if I'm on here. So one of the cool things is like this. We don't have time for a whole game right now. So obviously we're not going to do 1, but I can do 5, 10, or 15. So 15 is 1.5 times a game played we had before. We're going to do a 5 race game here. Let me see. Turn on the TV. I'm very excited to try this out. It's loading up. Oop, not that one. Yep, I clicked the wrong button, and I did it again. There we go. Finally. All right. Let me turn that down. I believe we got all 6 here. We'll find out here in a second. This one's a lot louder than my other console. Where's Pierre? Yeah, big fan of Carlos's games as well, Pierre. He does unbelievable work. Operation Cloudfires. I mean, I haven't played them all. I've tried them all, but I mean, played all the way through. But Operation Cloudfire, I had to sit there and keep going till it was done. There was no waiting. Oh, I forgot. I have it under. I put it under horse racing. Sorry, guys. I only loaded it to test for David because he asked me to, and I figured I'm going to try it for the first time with all of you. So again, this is not the final version. This is still a beta 4, but all this stuff has been implemented, I believe. So let me switch on over here. I guess I can go back to OBS. Maybe later. Let me take off Cloudfire box, television logo. Let me adjust my screen here, guys. This one's definitely different. I'm just going to play it regular and I'll talk. The screen was edited for the other game, and now I'm on the Ultimate Flashback, so they don't go back and forth nicely. All right, so the first thing you're going to notice besides the beta is he has Intellivision.us. That's where you can pick up a lot of ROMs. There are a lot of free ROMs. There are a lot of pay-for ROMs. All the ROMs, I believe, are $5 if you have to pay for them. And some of the packages are only 10 with mini games in them. You see, instead of the bars, you have colored horse heads. I thought that was a cool addition. So I think, let's see, disc was 15, 1 was 10, 2 was 5. Let's see if I remember. Yes. Okay, so there's the 5. So right away you can see on this screen, you can see that it's 9 furlongs. It's muddy conditions. Let me get the Intellivision show banner off there for this one. Where is it here? Take it off. There we go. So all 4 horses are there as well. It tells you race 1 of 5. The money is in red. It really stands out. So the cool thing here is, just saw your message there, Carlos. Sorry about that. Normally we end the show and we chat a little bit, but I still had more to go and I didn't want to make you guys wait longer than you already were. You guys are hearing me, correct? Okay, so here is a really cool feature. I know you guys it might not matter to you, but go into this screen. I now just push the button and I don't have to hold it in. And when I want to go back to the other screen after you guys are done betting, there we go. I push the button and I go back to this screen. That's huge. My thumb has this great big indentation every time we play. I'm so excited. So now I'm going to show you guys another cool thing, because a couple times I have made a mistake. I keep looking at the webcam like y'all can see me. So I meant to bet 200. I bet 20. I didn't notice it until I clicked it. It's done deal, right? In the original game, you cannot, you see the overlay here, you cannot go back and change your bets. So this one, I can just push 1 again and go back in and fix it. And there you go. I just fixed it. In case I make a mistake, there you go. What else was on here? Okay, so this is 9 furlongs. I'm just going to show you guys a quick one, and then we'll get started. The gates are going to open as soon as the sound's done. Boom. No hesitating there. Now, watch the furlongs as they come. So whenever you're talking about the race, and I forget to count them, boom. A number comes up, they count down. So we got 8 more. And it's going to keep going. And when you see 1, the next one is the finish line. So there's no more guesswork or me having to count them. Jet Screamer, welcome, sir. So David really did, while he wasn't able to do, obviously we knew he wasn't going to do all those things we said. Those were we categorized them into, I really want this. This would be nice to have. And if it's possible, these could be cool too. And he did all the things that he could do in a timely manner. And all the things were really helping me stream it better. He wasn't able to add more players. It required extensive code rewriting. But a lot of these things, like saving my thumb, being able to see where you're at in the race, all the little enhancements to the screen, being able to pick 1, 5, 10, or 15 race games, whatever time we have left, we can play a game. It's not just, pause it. We have options. So, and also, yeah, the money, the different amounts of races that you pick, there are different amounts of money to go along with those. So I'm trying to think if I've got everything. A lot of subtle changes, a lot of cool changes for me. Thumb savers. Not having more people, that's kind of a bummer, but I understand. Extensive, code rewriting. That's a lot of work to add 2 people. I think 2 people would fit down there. Maybe someday in the future, who knows? Maybe if he sees us playing it a lot, he'll get back and maybe do some more. Maybe. No trifectas. Yeah, stuff like that. That was, we put everything we thought we could think of, but a lot of things didn't make it. But, all right, so who were the first 6 guys? Let me go up and look. All right. Oh, paper. I was not prepared to play the game. Let me grab the little form I have. I don't think I have a... Oh, yes, I do. My last one. Whew! I got to print some more of these guys. All right. Thank you, Brian. Just saw that. Said great show. I'm glad you made it in. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know I did. All right, here we go. Sure. IR Geek was first. So, IR Geek, you are number 1. And then we had Kurt Bradshaw. Kurt, you are number 2. EE Buckeye. And right before I get started, I'll just make sure everyone's still here and wants to play. Rick's all right. Rick is number 4. Eric says I was last place. Let me kick this off so I can get that other one off there. That game is hard. IR Geek Pierre. Good luck, everybody. Roger's in. Roger, you're number 5. And was there a 6? 8-Bit Widgets. Caleb, what is going on, sir? Terminator 2. Great movie. Michael Hayes. Better late than never, sir. We know you're on an odd schedule. Make it when you can. Oh, yeah, I'll restart it. Don't worry about it. All right, guys, did I miss anyone? I have IR Geek, Kurt, E. Buckeye, Rick, Roger. Did I miss someone? And if I didn't, speak now quickly if I missed you. If not, I need one more. Caleb, are you here for a few minutes? You want to play a game of horse racing live? Oh, Eric. Sorry about that. All right, so let me reset this, and we shall get started here. See how this works. Apparently, I forgot about the button 2. Only 5. We start with $500. All right. So we have IR Geek, Kirk, E, Buckeye, Rick, Roger, and Eric. And here we go. This is so cool. I just got to push the button. I guess the main thing, everything's on this other screen now except for, no, it is turf, 5 furlongs, race 1 of 5, all the horses. The only thing missing are the odds, which, you know, to be honest, I just go show the odds at the end after everyone bets. I don't keep doing it. So go ahead and place your bets, guys. Place your bets. Here we go. I'll let you see them to start. 5 furlongs. It is turf, green, pink, orange, and blue. I believe there's still a max bet of $250, but we can try it if someone wants to. I have not tried that yet. So we did talk about having no max bet for the final race, I think it was. And that's something he said, if we start playing it and he sees it, that he could add in that at the end. But as of right now, that no limit at the end is not in here as of now. I'm hoping that's something that kind of adds, it lets everyone still be in it at the end. I kind of hope we eventually get that. All right, so IR Geek 200 on blue. We got E Buckeye 150 on orange. Eric Lamb 100 on blue. Roger 100 on blue. And Rick 100 on green. Where's Kurt? 50 on green. All right, let me get these in real quick. Now, if I do make a mistake, yell at me before I start. I'll ask again at the end, but go ahead and throw it in as soon as you do it. Yeah, this one here. Watch how this one goes. Next time, play a full game with us, Caleb. It's a lot of fun. 6 people play. You just place bets. I'll show you all the horses. Watch for a few minutes. You'll get the hang of it. It's really easy. It's fun to play. I keep track of all the winners. I'm going to have a drawing here pretty soon. I have lots of winners. We need to do that little spinny wheel. I'm going to be giving away prizes now and then. All right, so IR Geek is player 1, 200 on blue. Kurt is number 2. We're going 50 on green. E Buckeye 150 on orange. Rick 100 on green. Roger 100 on blue. And Eric Lamb 100 on blue. All right, guys. Speak now, forever hold your peace. I can still edit it. It's going to be a cool feature. I felt really bad the 1 or 2 times I made a mistake, and someone had to suffer because I hit the wrong button. All right, I'll assume everything's good. Let's get this one going. So let's check the odds after all bets have been placed. All right, again, it's 5 furlongs. Conditions are turf, green 3-1, pink 7-1, blue 3-2, orange 3-1. Yeah. Kurt, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that that's not going to be one of the prizes. I'm just saying, I only have one. Couldn't figure out how to get out of there. All right, guys, race 1 of 5. Who's going to get the early hole shot? Orange taking the lead, stepping out. 4 furlongs to go. 3 races, nose to tail. Green a little bit back there. Now blue taking the lead with 3 furlongs to go. Oh, I can't even remember if that's pink. Pink or violet. I don't know if my colors are off. I believe that's pink out front. Nice little lead there with just 2 furlongs to go. Oh, nice slowdown. Blue coming back around, 1 to go. Right to the line. Pink takes off again. It's going to be close. Blue, can Blue do it? And I think Blue got it. Let's see. Blue by a nose. That's the way I called it. Blue by a nose. Blue. I like the color there. It's a lot different blue than the horse running around. Blue, pink, orange, and green. So blue, the winner, that's going to be IR Geek. Congrats. And Roger and Eric. So 3 winners in race 1. You can see by the amount of money, we're starting with 500 here with 5 races. So this will be race 2 of 5. We have 5 furlongs, dry, green, blue, violet, and yellow. Oop, there we go. So there are the stats. Oh, that's right. The other thing missing that you can't see on the other screen, if this isn't up, is the race history. That's right. I did forget about that. Horse poop. Yeah, David didn't put that in there. Well, I'm assuming he didn't. I mean, we might see it. I wouldn't be surprised if we find some other feature he added, because not everything did he tell me. All right, guys, get in your bets. This is race 2 of 5. 2 of 5. So I will say that we are also going to be focusing on Intellivision Jeopardy. That's going to be a fun game show. It's going to be just like this, where the winners are going to be included in wheel spins for prizes. That one should be a lot of fun. It's going to be just like regular Jeopardy, you guys know, except for everything's going to be Intellivision based. We're going to have 3 players, possibly 4. I'm toying with the idea of seeing if we can do it with 4. I'm looking forward to the first game. I've got 1 person helping me with the clues, and I'm going to start focusing on that as well. And then I need to build how it's going to work. It's not going to be the prettiest, but it'll work. And I'm going to do a little bit of testing once we get some clues and I get it built in OBS and StreamYard. And once we get the testing to be successful, we will do a trial run live for you guys, see how you like it. All right, where are we at here? 717. So we've got IR Geek 200 exacta bet. First exacta bet of the night. Green and then yellow. All right, where are we at here? Rickster exacta bet. 100 blue and then violet. Eric Lamb 200 on violet. Did I miss anyone up here? EE Buckeye 100 on yellow. Kurt Bradshaw 100 on violet. Did I miss Rogers, or you pop it in there, Roger? I don't think I missed it. What are you going to bet for race 2, sir? I'll start popping these in while we wait for Roger. So IR Geek 200 green and yellow. Sean, what's going on, Sean? Glad you made it. Roger's got that 6 spot. We're just trying it out. We're going to play a full version coming soon. I'll post about it and get some players, and we'll do a full game of this shortly. Just want to kind of show everyone I was excited to have the new version and show everyone some of the changes so they can check it out for themselves. We're doing 5 races. This is race 2. Roger, you still with us, buddy? You fall asleep? All right, so Kurt, 100 on Violet. And EE Buckeye, 100 on Yellow. One thing I got to be careful, though, I just realized I can change them. So if I hit the wrong button, I can bet over one of the other ones. Didn't think about that before. Yellow. So Rick in the 4, 100, exacta bet, blue and violet. There's Roger. All right, so Roger is 100 on blue. Same bet as last race. Man, I did not sleep good. I'm freaking tired. I stayed up till like 1 in the morning finalizing everything for the show today and getting things cleaned up from the last show and getting the right things out, getting the mail call stuff ready. I'm exhausted. 200 on Violet. Worked a full day. All right. Speak up quick. Speak up quick. If I made a mistake, I believe I got it all in there right. Already bet, Casey. All right, let's go check. Again, 5 furlongs, dry conditions. After all bets, green 3-1, blue 7-2, violet 5-2, yellow 5-2. And away we go. That is a light colored track. I like how that gate opens up right after. It's going to be the whole shot's going to be yellow and blue. We got a 4-horse battle, 3 of them right there in a row. Green trying to find a way around. It's going to be early. First furlong, it's going to be yellow. Violet now taking the lead, dropping yellow to the 2. We got a 4-horse battle here with 3 furlongs to go. Blue now, nice little whip action there, trying to find a way around. Green falling back. We've got violet, blue, and yellow. Violet speeding up, as is blue. Yellow falling back just a little bit. This will to the line. It's going to be violet, blue, yellow, and off the screen, green. I see you now. A while back, I didn't see you, but I see you. All right, so Violet is the winner. Kurt, winner. And Eric Lamb, winner. Eric Lamb, now the leader. He had that $200 bet there. 2 winners for race 2. All right, this is race 3. Let me bring it up. 8 furlongs, dry conditions, pink, yellow, blue, and orange. All returning horses. Blue, it'll be Blue's 3rd race. Blue's been in every race so far. Place your bets, place your bets. Yeah, for those of you that haven't done the Intellivision Invasion weekly game challenge, man, if you're not in that group, join it. Go play those challenges. You don't have to have any kind of fancy equipment. You just have to take a picture with your phone of your game and post it up. It's quite easy. Rick kicked butt at Demon Attack. My gosh, how long did it take you to get that score, sir? When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. All right, IR Geek, 200 on blue. EE Buckeye, 50 on blue. Again, guys, this is a 5-race only event. So this is race 3. 2 more after this one, and we are done. So EE Buckeye, 50 on blue. We've got Eric Lamb, 200 on pink. We've got Kurt Bradshaw, 100 on blue. Hour and a half. Woo! Did you have the sore thumb? All right, Roger is going exacta bet. 100 blue and pink. And Rick. Blue orange exacta for $100. All right, let's get these in. Then I'll go back and show you guys the odds. I don't have those buttons memorized yet. I keep pushing the wrong one. All right, IR Geek, 200 on blue. Then we have Kurt, 100 on blue. E Buckeye, 50 on blue. Then we have Rick, 100 with an exacta bet. Second exacta bet in a row for Rick. He's going blue and then pink. Roger doing exacta bet as well. His first of the night. 100 blue and pink. Same horses for Rick and Roger. Everyone so far picking blue to win. Eric Lamb, Lone Wolf out. 200 on pink. All right, looks like it's blue or pink. Any other horse? It's going to hurt a lot of feelings in this one. Let's go back and check those odds. 8 furlongs dry. After all bets, pink 7-2, yellow 7-2, orange 13-2, blue 1-1. IR Geek says, I do hope to see more betting options added, box, trifecta, etc., but this is awesome improvements. Yeah, a lot of them are improvements for me and to help do a better job saving my thumb. There's other things too, like the different variable racing. You know, you can have all the different races. So what I do here. Let me go back. Did I screw up, guys? I see my name. Casey. Rick wants orange. Oh, yes. My own messy handwriting. Thanks for yelling at me, guys. Sorry about that. I need to write a little cleaner. Rick wants blue and then orange. Oop. I'm telling you, I am tired. Is that it? Everything else is right? Thanks for yelling at me, guys. It only took like 5-6 comments. I was over here looking at the other screen talking, and then I look over. Casey. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, I love being able to fix mistakes. I don't have to feel bad about screwing up anyone's game. All right, so we're good now, right, guys? We're good to go? Let's go back and check those odds again. That will change things maybe. Pink 7-2, yellow 7-2, orange 7-1, and blue 1-1. Not going to win a lot betting on blue in this one. All right, pretty sure that's it. Here we go. So now there's 3 horses that matter. Got to put orange in there as well. Blue's going to get the early hole shot. All 4 horses still in that race. Orange now taking the lead on the inside. Blue taking it right back. 7 furlongs to go. It's not very often you see all 4 horses still in it. 6 furlongs to go. Pink now taking the lead. Pink is Eric's horse. He bet 200 on pink. Only guy to bet on pink to win. 2 horses now off the screen. Orange now making it back with 4 furlongs to go. That second place horse, Blue, is what most of you have to win. Roger and Rick want to see Blue overtake Pink and stay in that order. We got 2 furlongs to go. This time as we cross yellow, now relevant again, back on the screen. He's gaining fast. Gaining fast is yellow. Yellow could break some hearts here. Yellow's going to be popping out to the outside. 1 to go. Here we go. Pink now stepping it up, as is Blue right at the end. Blue trying to get around as well. Pink going to take it. Blue in the 2, yellow in the 3, orange coming in last. Pink, Eric Lamb, another big win for Eric. Only winner in that one. Look at that money, $18.50. You guys are going to have 2 races to catch that man. I would be doing exacta bets. Pretty much the only way you're going to catch them. Nice job, Eric. All right, here we go, guys. 8 furlongs, dry conditions. 2 new horses in this one. We're going to have red and white in the mix. Returning are violet and orange. Here are your odds. Place your bets. Place your bets. 2 races to go. Yeah. Every once in a while, there's a horse that just kicks butt. Which horse was it that time we had like win 5 or 6 in a row? Yeah, I'm not very good at gambling either, Rick. You give me something that I have to perform, I'll pick that anytime over luck. Yeah, so cool with the simple change showing the furlongs. I mean, I was trying to count them before, but I would kind of have an idea, but I never knew exactly. It's nice to just look and see every time they pass one. Eric says, thanks. I never win like this for real. Yeah, if you put money on something, I tend to not be very lucky, but anytime there's no money involved, I do well. I just don't bet a whole lot. All right, sorry about that. Here goes the money page. Real quick, and then we'll pop back until I see your guys' bets. IR Geek with 400, Kurt with 600, E Buckeye 200, Rick with 200, Roger 450, and Eric, your leader, with 1850. Here are the odds again. Go ahead and throw down your bets, guys. Eric, go ahead and bid quick, Eric. Forgot about that. Whenever you're this far ahead, we let the leader bet first. Kind of keeps it even there a little bit more. All right. Rick, 100, exacta bet. And I'll get it right this time, right a little cleaner. Violet and white. And E Buckeye, 100 exacta bet. And wants red and violet. IR Geek, 200, nice big bet. Nobody has done max bet tonight. That's unusual. Exacta bet, white and yellow. Eric Lamb, lowering that amount. Lowest bet of the night for Eric. Next time, Eric, for the final race, you will bid first. Unless you guys don't care, let Eric bid first on the final race. So 50 on white for Eric. Cyrus, what is going on? Welcome, sir. Glad you were able to catch it. All right, so Roger, there's a max bet. $250. And violet and red. Super Mega Graphics 64 is the originator of the Horse Racing Live. It's where I first saw it. He's also was my bowling partner. Fun guy, fun channel. Definitely go give him a looky-see and sub if you haven't already. Good dude. Plays a lot of different types of games. All right, Kurt Bradshaw. Final one for this one. 200. Violet. And red. All right, guys. I'm going to get these in here. I keep pushing the wrong button every time. All right, 200. For IR Geek, white, and then yellow. Again, guys, you see a mistake. Oh, did you say yellow? Because there is no yellow. Maybe that was my bad. Yeah, there's no yellow in this one. We've got red, violet, white, and orange. So I have white for you, IR Geek, to win. What is your second horse there? red, violet, or orange. I'm just going to put something. Oops, not that. I'm going to put something for now because I can skip and leave the rest. Kurt, 200. Exact the bet. Violet and then red. Then we've got E Buckeye going with $100, evening that up for the 2 races that are left. Exact the bet, red and then violet. Got a lot of different horses and different orders in this one. It's going to get interesting. All right, now we've got Rick with an exact the bet as well, as you guys should be doing as we close this one out. 100, violet and white. Roger. First max bet of the night from Roger. Where'd you go? Violet and then red. I knew you did an exacta bet, and I stopped writing because I started blabbing my gums. All right, so violet and then red. That's a second one for violet and red. Kurt did that one as well. All right, then we've got Eric. Lowest bet of the race, 50. Single horse, white. All right, so IR Geek, white and then red. All right, let me fix that real quick. I just love being able to do this. White and red. All right, guys, hopefully that looks good. What? Okay, keep. I missed that one. I just put one in so I can move on. So white and orange. All right, don't kill me if that's not a winner. And if it is, I want my cut. All right, guys, let's go check the stats. We've got 8 furlongs dry after all bets. 9-2 for red, violet's 3-2, white 3-2, orange 9-1. Again, 2 new horses in this one. No one knows what they are doing. Here we go. This is race 4 of 5. Next one will be the final race. Who's going to get the whole shot? Fairly long race here. Orange is going to get the whole shot. No one's out of this one yet, though. Violet now looking to the outside. Going to take the lead with 7 furlongs to go. Dropping orange to the 2. White now looking to the outside of orange. Red trying to be relevant as well. Leader still violet. Orange starting to fall back a little bit. White now looking to the outside. Going to take the lead with 5 furlongs to go. Dropping violet to the 2. Now red looking to go to the outside as well as white is pulling away. Orange falling off the screen. Right now, who picked white? White was IR Geek's win, but he needs yellow in the 2, and yellow is off the screen. 3 furlongs to go. White with a tremendous lead now. Red trying to stay relevant on that screen. You know who's picked white to win? Eric Lamb, your current leader. White is the only horse on the screen. 1 furlong to go to the line. It is going to be white. Eric Lamb has won 4 of the 5 races in this game. He has not picked a loser yet. So we got white, violet, red, and orange. White, violet, red, and orange. So there were a few violet and reds. They just needed that white to go backwards. Congratulations, Eric. 1 more race to go. Look at that. 1925. The only way around it is another exacta bet. I don't even know if you can catch them at this point. Everyone's still in the game. All right, guys, here we go. Final race of the night. 10 furlongs. Nice long race. Turf. All returning horses now. 10 furlongs. Longest race. Green, orange, pink, and violet. All right, Eric. Get in that bet, Eric. Unless you guys don't care, you can throw your bet in if you want. Let's let Eric. Yeah, Eric says, I need to go get to a casino tonight. Definitely, sir. It is your lucky night. It's been a while. I think Sean was the last one to win this many in a row. No, the horse, it's David Harley, the guy that does a lot of the games. He does what they call hacks. He takes a game and then makes all kinds of improvements. He just released Super Pro, Beauty and the Beast, and Voice Anthology are his latest two. And you can check out all of his games on Intellivision.us. All right, Eric said 100 on pink. Everyone else, get in your bets. Can Eric be a winner of all 5 races? Because as you guys know, we can have multiple winners, but he has not picked a loser yet. All right, Rick is going to pick an exacta bet, $100. You guys need to know how much you have? Take a quick look. I've got IR Geek with 200, Kurt 400, E Buckeye 100, Rick 100, Roger has 200. You guys should be betting max bet or whatever you've got left on this final race. Get it back there. There are the horses. All right, so we've got, missed it here, E Buckeye, exacta bet, 100. Pink and then violet. Violet. IR Geek, 200. You have bet 200 every single race. Very consistent. Green and then orange. Rick, exacta bet, 100. Same, 100 every time. Very consistent. Orange and then pink. Roger Matthews, $200. Going with an exacta, of course, violet and pink. Who here thinks Eric's got some beginner's luck going? Kurt Bradshaw, 250. Max bet here. Pink and then orange. Yes, consistent at losing. I don't fare very well either when I've played. I think one time I won, and it might have been a shortened game. I can't remember for sure. I'd have to look on the paperwork. Yep. Eric says Eric definitely has beginner's luck. All right, let's get these in, and then I'll come back and show you before we start the final race of the night. Thank you guys for sticking around after the show to try this out. I'm excited that we got a full field. All right, 200 green and orange for IR Geek. Number 2 is Kurt, 250 max bet. Of course, exacta, pink and then orange. E Buckeye, number 3, 100. Exacta bet, pink and violet. Number 4 is Rick. He's all in, $100. Or what's that all in? Orange and pink. Number 5 is Roger, 200. Exacta bet, violet and pink. And Eric Lamb, $100 single horse bet on pink. All right, guys, no one's yelling at me. I'm assuming I have all that right. Someone yell at me before we start. I'm going to come back and show you the odds. All right, again, it's 10 furlongs. Green 3-1, orange 9-2, violet 3-1, pink 2-1. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Final race of the night on the new game. Who's going to get the whole shot in the final race? It's going to be pink. This is a nice long race. Lots of time. No one running off. 9 furlongs to go. All 4 horses still relevant. Orange looking to the outside of violet. Now orange looking to the outside of pink, taking the lead with 8 furlongs to go. Nice boost of speed there from orange. 1 horse off the screen. Violet in danger with 7 furlongs to go. Orange with a little bit of slowdown. Now pink looking to the outside, making a move, taking the lead back again. Can't quite make it stick. 6 furlongs to go. It's still orange. Violet slipping away off the screen, hanging on by a nose. Now 2 horses relevant with 5 to go. Right now, orange and pink. That's going to be Rickster. Anyone else have orange and pink? Right now, if it ended with 4 furlongs to go, it's going to be Rick. You bet 100 on orange in the 1, pink in the 2, 3 furlongs. Your leader, Eric Lamb, would love to see pink get to the lead, but I don't think it's going to happen. Orange slowly but surely putting pink off the screen as well. We're down to the final furlong, 1 to go. Less orange falls on his face. Pink's coming a little bit too late. Orange going to take the final race. It's going to be orange. Look at this. Finally coming up, challenging pink. Not quite there. It's going to be orange and pink. Rick, the big winner in this one. That should be good enough for second place. Let's see how it turns out. Eric Lamb, definitely the big winner, I believe. Let's see. Oh, that was closer than I thought. Rick came in there at the end, made it within $225. We've got IR Geek bankrupt, EE Buckeye bankrupt. Rick went all the way to the 2. Roger bankrupt. Congratulations to Eric. Eric Lamb, beginner's luck. Nice job, sir. That was a lot of fun. I love these new enhancements to the game. And you know what? This is the first time we've ever done one of these, and my thumb was not hurting. I don't even feel it at all. All right, so let me get these final values in. I'm going to go ahead and switch over, though, since we're done with the game. Let me get these. I record everything, so let me get these values down. 1,600. Roger 0 and Eric 1825. All right, nice job, guys. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Good night, Roger. Thanks for coming in and playing with us, sir. Always a pleasure. Yeah, it's only one winner. Everyone else is a loser, but it's still fun to play. Thanks. Great game, everyone. From Eric. Rick, you hardly ever lose at any games. It has to be ones that are luck involved. Yep. Definitely good. All right, guys. Again, next Monday, another show, same time, same place, 5:30 Pacific. We're going to have some interesting things there, and if it runs good on time, we'll throw in a horse racing live at the end of it again. So hope to see you all next week. I hope you enjoyed this show, and good night, everyone. We will see you next week.